Hi. Closer? Farther? Which one's what? How's
Alright, is this team?
Maybe try the other one.
Team out.
Do you close?
Yep.
Okay. Oh God.
No, you're fine.
Very loud.
Good.
I'm Caryl. I'm an executive producer for mobile games at KIXEYE. KIXEYE is a leading online combat strategy game. Thank you for all my fans with me. We are based here in San Francisco. We're about 500 employees. We make a lot of awesome games that you might have seen on Facebook. War Commander, Battle Pirates, and Backyard Monsters. And now we're moving into mobile, and that's what I'm doing there. I worked at NG Moco for a couple years. Almost three. And then I worked at EA for a long time before that. But I really came to KIXEYE to help move them into mobile, and that's what we're here to talk about tonight.
Hello. Hi, I'm Mike Liu. I'm
Bye.
Right here. This is better. Okay. So I run product at GREE, and GREE is a large mobile social gaming company that's originated in Japan. And past few years, they've definitely grown and had a lot of changes. Last year, they acquired a company called Funzio, and I joined GREE then from the Funzio acquisition, where I ran the studio for mobile at Funzio. So now at GREE, I sort of do the same with the ex-Funzio studios, making games like Modern War, Crime City, and Kingdom Age. And a lot of what we do is really taking the learnings from Japan and applying that here in the Western market. If you look at the top grossing charts sort of on a regular basis, you'll see Modern War was their #3 top grossing, and Crime City was #7 just this past weekend. And both of these games are more than a year and a half old, with Crime City almost coming up to 2 years. So I think what we've done is really to leverage a lot of that learnings here and take advantage of that from the GREE side.
Hello everyone, my name is Nate Jones. I lead mobile games publishing at Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, or Weeby. Weeby's been a leading console developer publisher for some time, probably a top 10 market share player. We've been slow to enter the mobile game space, but beginning in the second half of 2011, we got more serious and started to release a slew of paid games based on some of our top brands, and that success continued into 2012, which reinforced our decision to be more aggressive. And so in 2013, we decided and announced that we would be opening a mobile game studio here in San Francisco, and also recently announced or released our first free-to-play game, Injustice, which has been a top-performing game over the last 5 or 6 weeks and has been doing really well. So Warner Brothers is very focused on the mobile game space. We feel like we have a lot to offer with our brands and the quality of product that we're bringing to the table, and very pleased to be here and be part of this panel. Thanks.
And you guys already know about Immersion, but I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've been with Immersion for over 13 years now, and that goes way back in gaming. So with PC console games, I've seen the transition going into mobile, and I primarily work with all of these game developers to add this sense of touch into their games, working with the folks at Rockstar and Sega here in the city and many others. But that's my goal, is to make your games feel good. So I make recommendations to all the game developers out there. They will send me their files to review, their games to review. It's the greatest job ever. I get to play all these games and make recommendations how they can feel better. And I'm going to keep doing that. So, thank you.
All right.
And I'm Jeff Scott, Editor-in-Chief of 148 Apps. We're the U.S. division of Steel Media. I'll be the moderator tonight. So first question, this is a question for everyone. Please tell us a little bit about your studio, what differentiates you, and please feel free to talk smack. We're all friends here.
So Storm8. So we have we have one office in Redwood City with 200 people. So our philosophy, actually, I came from another gaming company which was more divided into studios. At our company, we're actually one company, and we consider ourselves a network, and therefore we build that way. So, PMs and engineers are not necessarily assigned to one game and just focus on that all the time. So we build across different games. We're building what our users ask for. So we build in 5 different game genres. So the company was founded in 2009 in the MMORPG space. So you might recognize iMonsters and World War, some of the early iOS games. Storm8 was one of the first companies on that platform. So as the company grew, they actually moved on to Android and moved on to Amazon over time, or Google Play and then Android, Amazon over time, and entered new genres as well. So we moved into social casual, which is the simulation type games like Farm Story and Dragon Story, and then over time moved into social arcade, so Bubble Mania and Jewel Mania, which are published under our Team Lava brand, and eventually also into social casino, which is slots and bingo under our Shark Party brand. So you may not know Storm8, but you may know some of our other brands that we publish under within the app stores. So I think what differentiates Storm8 from other companies that are generally more well capitalized than us, and also even smaller as well, we tend to move very quickly, and our company was founded by some ex-Facebook engineers, and there's no external funding with our company, no VC funding, so it's all bootstrapped. So our executives can move very quickly without any kind of red tape, and they move really fast, launch games very quickly, make decisions very quickly. So that's the Storm8 style.
So yeah, I talked a little bit about KIXEYE when I introduced myself. I joined the company a few months ago, and I joined because the games that I knew that KIXEYE had made were ones where you could play them on Facebook, but there were actually winners and losers in the game, so I could actually play a game and win something on Facebook. And win something, I mean, I could take loot from someone else. And to me, that was a key differentiator about KIXEYE and why I wanted to go work there. The strategy games actually made you apply strategy. It's something I think that we do really well. It's something that we love about the games that we make. The other thing that we love about the games that we make is seeking out a very high quality bar. That was also something I was very excited to join the company. We're about 500 people. We're mostly here in San Francisco, although we do have offices in Brisbane in Australia and in Victoria in Canada. I get to go visit Victoria in a couple weeks because I'm going on vacation. I get to stop there, which will be awesome. The mobile group just got started. We've actually mostly focused as a company on web games, and we're moving into mobile. We're going to have 4 mobile titles this year, one of which is the one I'm working on, which is called, am I allowed to say? Backyard Monsters Unleashed, which is going to be Backyard Monsters, but really envisioned for mobile. Like, we are not just porting it over, we're not copying it over. We're making something very new, very fresh, and hopefully it'll just feel awesome and super fun to play on mobile. The company itself has been self-sustaining for quite some time. We actually do have some investment money, but it hasn't really been necessary to go out for more. We've been fairly successful as a company. And it's a really super fun place to work. I didn't know that I wanted to work there until I started contracting there, and then I fell in love with it. So we're going to make great mobile games, and we're going to have you put a monster in your pocket.
Where's all the smack talk?
I smack talked. I talked about games that you don't win anything in. You know what I'm talking about. You know those games.
So I make games that you win in. Yeah, that's awesome to hear because I'm a huge fan of Backyard Monsters. And if anything, I know Clash of Clans. Wow. Okay. So for GREE, we've been around in mobile for quite some time. We are a public company, and we started out actually in 2005. And since then, we've 5x the revenue of the company. And just last year, GREE generated over $2 billion in annual revenues. And to put that into perspective, that's almost twice the amount that Zynga generated last year, depending on the currency exchange. But with that, GREE has wanted to expand out, not just from Asia, but internationally as well. And they've done a really good job of acquiring and also hiring the right talents. And what we're doing now is taking a lot of that institutional knowledge that they've perfected for quite some time. And for these guys, even prior to the acquisition, when I was at Funzio, I would look at guys like GREE and DNA and as sort of the oracles of mobile. I mean, they have games that generated $30 to $60 million a month. I mean, if you think about that, that's just crazy in terms of how are they able to generate so much money. And a very isolated market. And that's what we've been able to learn once we've sort of, come inside and, I guess this is not the right term, but open the kimono. Some people have. But yeah, so that's kind of what differentiates about our studio and just sort of taking that institutional knowledge that GREE has really perfected over the years.
So I also talked a little bit about Weeby in my opening remarks. But Weeby has been built over the course of the last 7 or 8 years, mostly on the back of acquisitions. We acquired a number of really prominent studios, Rocksteady, which is the developer of the console game Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, TT, or Traveler's Tales, which is the developer of all of the Lego games, so Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Harry Potter, and so forth. NetherRealm, which is the chief studio behind Midway, and they're the creators of Mortal Kombat. And then we have some other studios as well, with Turbine, which is an MMO developer and the developer-publisher of The Lord of the Rings Online and Dungeons & Dragons. We have other studios as well in Seattle and Montreal. So very fortunate to work with a group of great studios, and they create great games. And what we've done is we've kind of established mobile sub-teams at several of those studios, and they've been bringing great premium games to market over the last couple of years. Some of our titles include Scribblenauts Remix, Batman Arkham City Lockdown, Lego Harry Potter Years 1 to 4 and Years 5 to 7, Midway Arcade, which is kind of a compilation title of retro arcade games. And then this year I mentioned Injustice, and we've also most recently launched Lego Batman DC Superheroes. So, really what distinguishes our studio or the games that we're creating are, number one, the brands. We have some great brands that people around the world are big fans of. And then we're obviously complementing that with great games. And to date, those games have mostly been in the paid or premium part of the market. And this year, and on the back of the San Francisco studio, we'll be moving more aggressively into free-to-play. And we think that that's a big advantage for us and from the standpoint of user acquisition and discovery. We've, I think, proved that out with the 2 titles that we've brought to market. Injustice, which was self-published by us, and then The Hobbit: Kingdoms of Middle-earth, which is the title that we partnered with Kabam on. So we're excited to bring a lot of great free-to-play games to market and also continue to bring great paid or premium games to market through the rest of this year.
So, as I mentioned, Immersion is not a studio, but we do have something that's really awesome, is that we work with the OEMs. So the first mobile platform that we worked on was our mobile partner Samsung's platform. This was back in 2003, and our first games were Brew. How many people like making Brew games? Yeah. Well, we've got some expertise in that. But because we work at the hardware level, that's where we make our money, we know the OEMs very well. So the Samsungs, the Toshibas, the Nokias, when they were the rising stars, they were really owning the market. Not so much now, but they're all our partners. So we know the hardware as it's coming out. We work with them on the motor designs, the circuits, the amplifiers, all of that. And just now, with all these Android devices out there, all of these OEMs are looking for content. And we are perfectly situated with the developer community to give them the free tools that we have to make those devices feel good. This is a competitive advantage that the Android devices have over iOS. And so we're bringing that to all our OEMs. We're saying, look, here's our developer community. If you like any of their games, whether it's from Rockstar or EA or Garage Company, talk to this developer. Here's my contact at that developer's location. If you want to do a bundle deal with them, go ahead and do a bundle deal. If you want to highlight them in your app store, in your OEM app store, which is more and more important now with the emerging markets in Japan and China, you can do that directly. So we're in a really good position knowing the OEMs and having this direct link to the latest hardware that's coming out and having the free tools to support it. We don't care about making money on the software side. We just want to enable the developer. So it's a really unique position to be in, even though we're not a studio.
Great.